I am a Lakeside High School graduate, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about how important it is to get involved in the Ethiopian Community Association, either here in Atlanta or wherever you guys end up going in life, okay? So I actually got involved by accident. So I was thinking I believe it was the summer before my junior year, and I wanted to get involved with the community. So I did some research and I found out about this organization called Young Diplomats in Toronto, Canada. And that organization, they did a lot of mentoring and tutoring and different programs for the youth, and it was all with the mission to empower the youth. And I found that very enticing. I was like, that's something we would need in Atlanta. So I wanted to bring that that aspect here to our Atlanta Ethiopian community. And I had no idea how to get it started because obviously, I'm 16 years old. I wasn't sure who would take me seriously. So I talked to my parents, and they told me, you should go to Ethiopian community with this idea, and they can help you reach everyone and not just a select few of the community. So I went to Ethiopian community, and they were very welcoming. They actually helped me to decide which program I should do first, and they told me that what the community needed was a tutoring program. So that's essentially what we did. And that tutoring program, it served from kindergarten to 8th grade. And it was about 8 of us that were volunteering. And a lot of people were very up for the idea, but the most committed people that I have to give a shout out to, of course, we helped lots of kids and children, but the people who helped me the most was Ed and Kabeta, Ed and April. Well, Ed and Kabeta, go ahead and stand up since you're here. Yay. Ed and Abraham, Sem, Hall, Hadgu, Anissa, Omar. She's in fact not Ethiopian, but yeah. And whatever the case may be, and join the Ethiopian community wherever we end up living. And that's so important because you don't want our community to be divided or whatever, because there's power in numbers. You can look at any other foreign community, the Asian community, or actually I believe it's I heard on NPR recently, and my mom pointed it out to me, but they're the Asian community is going to Congress right now because they're being discriminated against, just because colleges are not letting them in even though they have the high SAT scores or whatever the case may be. And that's their community coming together to, sue the American government. That's a pretty big deal. So I want us to be able to reach that level, to have that impact upon our country, and it's up to us. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Just do what you can, and that's all that matters.
To be honest, so it's really important that if you know anyone that might be interested, you talk to one of us, and we'd really enjoy that. I believe that it actually has a really big impact on the kids in this community, so if you have any younger siblings that are...
So that was my free time. But because I was on consistent schedule during the week, on the weekend I kind of was able to have fun. So time management is what kept me motivated throughout, or helped me stay motivated. When I was at Georgia Tech, though, this is where it gets difficult. Georgia Tech is a different environment. It's a hard school. It was hard, so time management was not going to just help me. Even though I put in all the time, I still needed to, I needed more help. I needed to continuously do this. So what kept me motivated was, the little things, we have a block between 11 and 12 on Tuesday and Thursday. That's when I went to Nesby. That's when I had the social, talking to people, seeing what everybody's doing. And then, I don't know, it was just more so, you need to have a consistent schedule, and if you are flexible to, allot time, you need a lot more time to things that you need to do. So I didn't have too much fun at Georgia Tech, so that's really, fun is not the motivation there, but it kind of, what really kept me motivated at Georgia Tech, it was getting out. So me seeing May 2016 on my radar was okay, come on, stay focused a little bit more. And that may not be everyone's drive, but it's one of the things that I kind of saw, because it was near future. I was in school for over 6 years, so it was I see it coming. So that's that. Some trials and tribulations, failing a test, man. That sounded, so the parents are man, you failed the test? No, it's like that, that's how it is. At Georgia Tech, the average may be out of 100, the average maybe like 45. And you know, the professor is funny because one time the average was like 85, and you know, I had like a 90 on that test. But the professor made an announcement. He was like, okay, the average was 85. The next test, I'm gonna make it very hard. Don't worry. I'm like, why do you do that? But it's to challenge your brain. It's to make you think harder. It's to make you feel like you have to like work harder for a better grade. So some of my trials and tribulations were like, dang, I'm not good enough, right? That's not the case. I immediately, like after my first test at Georgia Tech, I immediately made a lot of friends that were Indian, Asian, and you know, different races, just to see how it's going. And I did do the like, you know, hey, what you get on the last? Did you get an A? Okay, let's be friends, kind of thing. That's what you need to do. He's not lying. Dr. Larry was telling the truth when he said you need to do that. But that kind of, you got to find your answer so that you don't face the same trial and tribulations again and again. You know what I'm saying? If you're spending too much money this month, if you don't want the same thing to happen to you next month, stop spending money or just figure out what you need to do to fix your, you know, your habits. So just a few. I mean, again, if you guys have like more questions or if you have problems and trials that you want to talk about, I'm sure you can talk to me or talk to anybody else. Your trials and tribulations, I'm sure someone else has faced them or are currently facing them. Two good questions. Thank you.
Actually advice for parents. Obviously, these parents are successful. They are good because their kids are graduates. But how about the others who are dropped out of school? What was the challenge that you had, if you had challenges? Or how did you overcome? And what is your advice for parents? Not so much for these parents, but others who drop out of school.
So, okay, so, yeah, my parents didn't go to school, so it's like I'm the first in my family, and it was hard because, you know, I remember, you know, growing up, my dad was helping me with algebra, you know, 7th, 8th grade. Then it got to 9th grade where you learn geometry or calculus 1, and he's like, oh yeah, I can't help you with that. Now where do I go now? You know, so the thing about my parents, I want to say, I mean, this can go for everybody. They were always continuously trying to find help. And my dad came up to school a lot. My parents know my dad, and whenever, like, I'm like, you know, high school, they change classes, right? You have to go to your locker. I miss lockers, man. Wow. But like, after you go to your locker, you're going back to class. I see my dad's face in my classroom, I was so scared. My heart fell and stuff. Because I would think maybe the teachers would tell him something or he didn't do so well. Things of that nature. So being involved, the parents need to definitely be involved. My mom also, she comes and complains and argues with the professor, with the teachers in high school, and that kind of helped me, you know, build my motivation because those teachers, they see that the parents care, and then the teachers kind of show care too, you know? It's not like those, I mean, there's unfortunate families that their parents don't really care if they go to school. Their parents don't really care if they're doing okay, maybe, there's even parents that didn't even come to their high school students' graduation, you know, so it's like that kind of support. It's a milestone for them, you know, high school graduation, birthdays, things of that nature. Being there for those kids is definitely, you know, a big deal. So I guess for the parents that's not here today that didn't go to school or they need help, I mean, just continue to seek out. And for us kids or us successful people, go out and reach out to them, you know, have them be involved. Like ask them what do they need for their children. You know, and this is going off on another tangent, but I do want to say, I don't like selfish people, you know? And sometimes you have to be selfish because if it's your kid, you care about your kid, you want your kid to be successful, you gotta do what you need to do for them. But we have to go together, you know, we wanna go far, right? As an Ethiopian people in America, in Atlanta, we wanna go far. But like, we just have to get rid of that selfish mindset and then move forward together. Give me a lot, answer your question. Can you speak louder? The question was, why did I join a fraternity? What made me join a fraternity? And what made it, like how has it impacted me throughout my life now? The fraternity I joined was Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And so the reason I wanted to join a fraternity was, so at Morehouse, It was more so like, it was already like a family.
Then I drank, but after a while, I couldn't. So to pretend that I got drunk, you know, I never broke in my life a glass. So I threw a glass. And the director came. Who did that? I did. What is wrong with you? Is there something wrong? Oh, are you drunk? So practically, don't pretend you are not drunk. So what they taught me is really the control of your brain, of yourself, is very, very important, no matter what. So you have to be always in control of yourself. That is the foundation of happiness. Finally, I am aware that finally I have to say something. You know, you have to live for yourself. You shouldn't live the life of somebody else. No matter how hard it is, no matter what other people think of you, no matter what the conditions are, you have always to follow your instinct, your heart, your intuition. And that is very, very important as part of being yourself. And that means sometimes, for a very long time, you may be in the wrong place, in the wrong profession. So please, please let me repeat that. Be always open to the possibility that you have got it all wrong and graciously accept your new awareness with humility and gratitude. And so this is very, very important. Finally, of course, I have to say, it is very hard for everybody, but for those who are students, when you go to university, I'm sure the temptations are great. You are going to lose sometimes sense of direction, but you always, every day you get up, try to stay always conscious and within your sense of mission. I think I'll close with that. Thank you very much.